Well, as we heard last night, the Prime Minister of Thailand has signed an order for a nationwide curfew starting today from 10 in the evening until 4 in the morning. Some provinces may have extended curfews, but this is now the minimum for all. The only exclusions from curfews are medical staff, bank staff, delivery workers, licensed media, travel to and from the airports with proof of ticketing, and those with special permits. Others who violate the order, and it will be well policed, face fines of up to 40,000 baht, so you've been warned. And as we announced last night, when a curfew is issued, that's the time that you need to be indoors in your place of residence, not making your way home. As in many countries, the government was damned if it didn't impose further restrictions, and would be damned if it did. Truth, though, is that you're in a country that has a lower rate of infection and very few deaths compared to other nations, especially in the West and Middle East. Keeping it that way and protecting all who live here is the priority, and there are many ways that all of us can support that, mainly by complying with all regulations without question. Last week, Thailand closed all border crossings for everyone except for Thai nationals, diplomats and their families, along with foreigners with permits allowing them to work in Thailand. Travel from province to province is being actively discouraged, and whilst there are still a few flights leaving Thailand, none but a few are arriving with authorised passengers. We are then, to all intent and purpose, in lockdown for our own good. It was always the government's plan not to introduce curfews, but when many flaunted the bans, such as gathering together, eating together, some keeping bars open, and others simply ignoring the issue, they really had two choices: let it spread and cause havoc, or try and batten down the hatches and keep COVID at bay. When we see news reports of COVIDiots, such as UK passport holders George Hoskins, Saul Jones and Stuart Alexander, joining with their pals and women to party loudly in Phuket, and subsequently arrested following complaints by Thai neighbours, it isn't surprising that we, the non-Thais, are being scrutinised by the locals. Of course, we're not all COVIDiots. Far from it, but the minority will always ruin relations for the rest of us. Non-Thais here now are made up of people from numerous countries, residents, expats and visitors who were either too lazy or unconcerned when recommended to fly home a month ago. Either that or they can't afford the huge prices of tickets back home now. You can guess, though, which group complains the most and which will damage the reputation for the rest. Western media has tourists bleating that they have no money to live on here, yet their debit cards and credit cards work just fine. They also complain of a lack of restaurants to eat in, yet many are selling food for takeaway. And they're ignoring the fact that in their own country it's much, much worse. As an example, in the United States, 1,000 people died in one day this week. Globally, the death toll is over 50,000 from COVID-related illnesses. Others, though, are doing their best, not only to get through this, but also to help where possible. And they're the ones that will stand out from the crowd. It's expected that immigration will release details on the promised long-term visa extension for those who arrived here after March the 1st this year. That's a plan that will save numerous visits to immigration offices for tourists and be a lot cheaper too. And it's expected to run through to June the 30th. The queues are all long at immigration offices now, and many from the West question the reason for a visa. Not only has it always been the law here, but it also allows the authorities to track tourists, know where they're staying and how to contact them. In one instance, for example, a Russian man contracted the virus in a hotel condo complex in the Pattaya area. Hotel records combined with immigration data will allow all of those who may have stayed there to be traced and advised to quarantine. The Nonthaburi Provincial Public Health Office has advised that 3 passengers arriving on 2 of Thai Airways routes to the UK have subsequently contracted the virus. If you flew in on Thai Airways flight number TG917, you can check your ticket for those details, on either the 27th or the 28th of March. You're advised to have testing. Passengers are being traced as well as possible. Finally, a bit of good news as the Energy Regulatory Committee has ordered cuts to electric bills by 3% for all types of consumers for the next 3 months. And they'll also waive the minimum charge applied to bills. So here we are. X marks the spot. Hotels are available, rates are low, food is plentiful, medical facilities are available, ATMs work for all, and whilst no one's happy, there's no shortage of supply or safety in Thailand. And with the reminder to wash your hands, keep your distance from other people and wear a mask, and the Met Office promising highs today of 33 dropping down to 28, and a good chance of storms at some time. That is the local and national news from Fab FM. For videos and of course to keep up with fabulous Pattaya, visit alwayspattaya.com.